Everlasting Chapter 4, Fighting. Published. Pref table of contents next. Is it caused when I was practicing? No wonder I feel that the Genki in my body is getting more and more abundant, and there is more essence of vegetation in it. If this is the case, wouldn't my cultivation speed be faster? I am now practicing to the fourth heaven. If I have enough true energy to open up other closed meridians, then I can advance again and enter the 100 level with all pulses. Chen Feng thought with surprise in his heart. It didn't take long for Ye Tian to run again, looking at Chen Feng with a surprised look in his eyes. Did you beat Wang Bo just now? Ye Tian asked incredulously. Not bad. Chen Feng nodded. See, in this way, when you cultivate to the fourth heaven of Qi and body, you have risen to 2 levels in a row. Ye Tian asked in shock. Chen Feng nodded without saying much. You have to be careful. Wang Bo's grandfather is an elder in the sect. Wang Bo has suffered a loss this time, and he will definitely find other colleagues to deal with you. Ye Tian said worriedly. Although Chen Feng did not speak, there was a hint of anxiety in his eyes. There are many disciples of the 5th and 6th heavens in the school, and even some elite disciples who have cultivated to the realm of the 7th heaven. This level of monks, it's easy to kill yourself, and everything is not enough. After Ye Tian left, Chen Feng stroked the small tower on his chest to think about it. The small tower on his chest has been with him. It is still so ordinary, full of gaps and tatters. Feng didn't think much, but thought it was the only thing on his body, so he didn't throw it away. After the thunderstorm, Chen Feng knew that this small tower is not as simple as it seems, and it must not be a common product, and Chen Feng's thoughts he also became active. Maybe his life experience is somewhat related to this little tower. I have been wandering alone since I have the memory. I don't know how many places I have traveled, I don't know how much suffering I have eaten, and I almost starved to death a few times or almost eaten by beasts. Chen Feng naturally thought I knew where I came from, who my parents were, whether I was abandoned, or there were other unknown reasons, but there was nothing except a broken tower. Object 1 2 3 4 5 6. Just a few days ago, the dilapidated small tower unexpectedly showed a strange phenomenon. Not only did it absorb the lightning, it also caused Chen Feng's cultivation to break through. This situation made Chen Feng no longer calm. What's the secret of this little tower? But unfortunately I am only practicing Qi and physical fitness in the realm of the 4th heaven. Only when I have cultivated to the secret realm can I have the spiritual knowledge, and only when the secret realm is reached can I drive the magic weapon, and then I can explore it. After all, although this small tower is broken, I feel that it is definitely not simple. It is so difficult to cultivate to the secret realm. I am afraid that there are only a handful of secret realm monks in Heiyun city. In the end, Chen Feng shook his head and stopped thinking about these things. These things are still far away. The most important thing now is to improve his strength as soon as possible to deal with the next trouble. In the next few days, Chen Feng still did not go out, and quietly practiced in the small courtyard. After these days of exploration, Chen Feng has determined that the nature of his cultivation has indeed completely changed, and it has become an unfamiliar one. But this kind of Genki is much stronger than what he used to cultivate, and it is full of vitality, making himself full of vitality and blood, strengthening his bones, and in just a few days, Chen Feng feels that he is a lot taller. The flesh and skin also swelled slowly, filled with a trace of powerful force. Although Chen Feng has explored some moves along the path of Zhen Qi, Chen Feng also clearly feels the flaws in his mind and moves. The strange mind method he is currently practicing is fundamentally flawed. Chen Feng has this kind of intuition. I cultivated to the point where I didn't even have a tenth of the original. This strange mental technique must have come from the small tower. When I enter the secret realm and control the small tower, I may be able to cultivate to a complete mental technique. Chen Feng secretly said in his heart. This kind of weird true energy is indeed powerful. After only a few days of training, Chen Feng once again rushed through the 2 main meridians. This kind of training speed made Chen Feng secretly happy. If you follow this speed, I am afraid it will not be used. How long will it take to break through again and reach the realm of a multitude of veins? By then he will have some status in the Iron Sword Gate, and he will be regarded as a middle-level personnel. On this day, when Chen Feng was cultivating, his ears suddenly moved. He heard a noisy footstep approaching and rushed towards his courtyard. Chen Feng frowned and whispered, "Is there any trouble coming home again?" Kang dang. The door of the small courtyard was kicked open again, and a group of 6 people walked in. One of them was Wang Bo, who was beaten to vomit blood by Chen Feng a few days ago. At this time, he was looking bitterly at Chen Feng and his eyes flashed. After a trace of pride, it seems that this time someone is invited to take revenge. Seeing the head, Chen Feng's face changed, he felt a little drumming. It turned out to be Brother Liu Yuan. Chen Feng stepped forward to salute. This is a young man who is less than 20 years old, his face is plain, watching Chen Feng salute, just nodding, he didn't say anything, and didn't know what he was thinking. Liu Yuan, this is a monk who knows everything. He has already entered the realm of the 5th heaven when he was 17. It is rumored that he is condensing chi and wants to break through again. Chen Feng looked at Wang Bo, who was glamorous on one side, and cursed in his heart, Liu Yuan was found. This person is a realm higher than me. He has a full range of veins and a steady flow of true energy, nourishing the flesh. It's about to congeal, how can I be an opponent? However, there is one thing that makes Chen Feng a little relaxed, that is, Liu Yuan usually only knows about cultivation, and is not as aggressive as others, let alone bullied Chen Feng, his character is fair enough. Yes, it's not easy to be able to break through 2 realms in such a short time. It seems that I have been saving for these years. Liu Yuan looked at Chen Feng and said lightly, seemingly not hostile. Brother, please take action and teach this waste. At this time, Wang Bo shouted, looking at Chen Feng with a sneer. You are only in the realm of the 4 heavens, far from me. I don't bully you. After 10 moves, if you can still stand, I won't bother about this matter, otherwise, you will move out of this place. Liu Yuan looked at Chen Feng and said lightly. Brother Liu. Wang Bo wanted to say more, but was stopped by Liu Yuan. Originally, Wang Bo invited Liu Yuan out to clean up Chen Feng, but Liu Yuan seemed to have some plans of his own. Did not take Wang Bo to heart. Well, I'll teach Brother Liu the brilliant tricks. Chen Feng said in a deep voice. The true energy in his body began to flow, rolling like a tide, giving birth to a powerful force, and the blood began to boil, like a volcano accumulating power. Eruption. Well, it really is the 4th heaven, and it's not too far away from the 5th heaven. You can do it, Liu Yuan said lightly, as if he didn't put Chen Feng in his eyes. Chen Feng's eyes were dignified and composed, and his heel slammed on the ground, like a sharp arrow, rushing towards Liu Yuan, and at the same time, his 5 fingers were bent like a hook, carrying a sharp wind against Liu Yuan, which was an iron sword. The 8 styles of iron claw exercises in the door, each finger is like a sharp sword, although it is a very common exercise, but once caught, it will be broken. Okay, Liu Yuan yelled lightly, his eyes shone, and a war intent rose sharply on his body. This is a martial artist. No matter whether his opponent is weak or not, he will be silent once he does it, and he will do his best. Slap. There was a crisp sound, and a palm hit each other. Chen Feng only felt the numbness of his 5 fingers, and a mountain-like power surged down his arm. He involuntarily stepped back 2 steps, his blood boiled, but his body, the infuriating energy moved quickly, the discomfort on the body disappeared immediately, and the arms returned to normal. Huh. Chen Feng walked at will, moving his footsteps again and again, and stretched out his 2nd finger to point towards Liu Yuan. It was the broken bone finger. Under the blow just now, Liu Yuan thought he would be able to fly Chen Feng with the inner breath behind him, but he did not expect Chen Feng to only take 2 steps back, and he rushed to him again as if nothing was wrong. He was surprised and quickly shot. Also, Shi Zhong'er pointed out, even using the same technique, trying to overwhelm Chen Feng with a strong internal interest. Slap. There was another crisp sound, as if 2 rocks had collided with each other, and the 2 of them retreated at the same time. Chen Feng only felt a sharp pain in the in the middle of eating. It seemed to be broken, and the whole arm was lost under the powerful force. Perception. Good fellow, it seems that most of the meridians in this kid's body have been opened up, and he can fight with me. Liu Yuan stared, his eyes flashed, and he had truly regarded Chen Feng as his opponent. Come again. Chen Feng shouted, and rushed to Liu Yuan first, and launched a series of offensives. Just now, the real airflow in Chen Feng's body disappeared instantly, and he returned to normal again, even the fingers the pain disappeared instantly. Okay. Liu Yuan also let out a soft drink, and displayed various moves to get into a group with Chen Feng. Everyone was stunned when the two played against each other, especially Wang Bo's red eyes and shortness of breath. Originally thought Liu Yuan would take action, but Chen Feng was not a hand-to-hand capture, but I didn't expect Chen Feng to fight Liu Yuan. And now it seems that the two have some evenly matched situations. In this case, don't talk about Wang Bo. Indomtl.com. Even the other colleagues who followed can't believe it. Is this still the usual bullying waste? This is the same person who has only cultivated to 2 heavens in 6 years. Rubbish. The weak cat in the past has grown into a tiger, which is unacceptable to everyone. In particular, some of the Tiananmen disciples who had bullied Chen Feng were even more sad, and their faces were a little uncomfortable. For fear of Chen Feng's revenge in the future, they were just praying that Liu Yuan could defeat Chen Feng. Happiness. The fighting between the two is still fierce. 10 moves have passed. Although Liu Yuan's power is getting stronger and stronger, his moves are getting heavier and heavier, but he never beat Chen Feng back. On the contrary, Chen Feng was under pressure. More and more tenacious, there is a feeling that the breeze hits calmly. Okay, take this trick from me again. Liu Yuan roared, and finally used the strongest attack. At this moment, Liu Yuan's whole body seemed to be a sharp sword, and his clothes were hunting. The sword intent that Liu Yuan cultivated was also the strongest attack he could use. The energy of his whole body melted into a sharp sword, and the whole person turned into a sharp sword out of its sheath, which was cut at Chen Feng. Good. Looking at Liu Yuan showing his power, Wang Bo and others shouted. Unexpectedly, senior brother Liu would have reached this state. The spirit and spirit are united, merged into one body, and turned into a sword shape. This kid is probably in a miserable situation, and he will be seriously injured if he does not die. Yes, it's better to waste this waste. Waste will always be waste. Wang Bo shouted through gritted teeth. The first release of this book is from 17K novels. The first time you see the genuine content.